Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Welcome back to another episode on the finished article. It's your boy Shazad Qureshi on all things Sky Blues and on the finished article. And we're back with another special episode. As you know, this is how we like to do it. But without further ado, let's go into some admin stuff. So as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We are on the race to 200 next, so thank you very much for everyone that subscribed. As always, we have reached our target of 100 subscribers. Now, one thing I want to mention before we proceed is, as Shaz mentioned recently, my co-host, we are looking to do a draw for the lucky 100 subscriber who will be getting a prize. However, yesterday when we were looking to conduct the draw, we noticed that only 38 subscribers had their profiles visible. So for everyone that's subscribed to this channel, please make your profile visible. Over the next coming week, we will look to get everybody's name into a hat and then randomly do a draw selector. So please make your profiles visible because we don't want anyone to miss out on this key prize. And without further ado, you can follow us on our social media feeds, Twitter handles there below. And I'll bring up my Twitter handle for anybody that wants to follow me directly. You can find me there personally. So if there's anything you want me to cover, go through, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment. But without further ado, as the title mentions, we are covering classic games from Coventry City versus Nottingham Forest. As we are all aware, the season kicks off next week. But you know what? I can't do this show without my main man. So let me bring him on board, Mr. Richard Home.
Hi, mate.
How you doing, mate? You right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Absolutely. And but before Rich carries on, you can see his Twitter handle there at the bottom. So please do leave a like, subscribe, and comment. He's my co-host on all things Sky Blues. So anything you want him to cover, give him a shout, and he'll be more than happy to do that on the show. But you know what? Let's get into it, mate. Let's get into it. So as we've mentioned, we're covering classic Coventry City versus Forest games, and you know what? Rich is feeling really nice today. I think he wants to start off with his first one for Nottingham Forest. So without further ado, I'm going to let Rich take it away. Go for it, mate.
Yep. Forest, when they won the league title back in 1978, the first division title, which would now be the equivalent of the Premier League for younger viewers, they actually secured the league title with a 0-0 draw away at Highfield Road. 36,000 fans packed Highfield Road out that night. This would have been before the stadium went all-seater.
Yeah.
And yeah, they got the draw they needed under Brian Clough. Forest had only been promoted the year before, so they won promotion, then won the title straight away. It would be unimaginable that something like that happening now. But
yeah, I think who was their manager back at the time? Was it Brian Clough?
Brian Clough. Yeah.
Brian Clough, yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think it was a big game for us as well because we were challenging for Europe ourselves back then. I think we narrowly missed out that season, but yeah, that game finished 0-0, and it probably, I'd imagine, it's probably domestically speaking the best night in Nottingham Forest's history. They went on to win the European Cup, or for younger viewers, what would now be the Champions League. Yeah. 2 years in a row, the next 2 consecutive seasons in a row. But yeah, the league title that got them there, they secured it at Highfield Road.
Kind of like the fallen giants of English football, languishing in the Championship. But yeah, by the way, how many league titles have Nottingham Forest actually won?
This is their only one.
Okay,
the top flight one in '78.
Fair enough.
One league title, 2 European Cups.
Interesting. Nice one, Richard. Without further ado, let's move on to the next fact. Again, another one for Nottingham Forest. So, Forest and City's Wembley dream. Go on, Rich.
This was the 1989-90 season. Obviously, we won the FA Cup in 1987. And then we must have been a decent side in cup competitions back then, because this was our second near miss after that. Because in '88, we got beat on penalties by Reading in the semi-final of the Four Members Cup, which is a competition that no longer exists. Mm-hmm. But 1990, we got to the League Cup semi-final under John Sillett. Brian Clough was still at Forest.
Yeah.
And the first leg at the City ground. I think we lost 2-1. Stuart Pearce and Nigel Cloughs with the goals for Forest. And then we could only I think we were at home for the first leg, and I think we were away. Sorry, at the City ground in the first leg, lost 2-1. So needed to get a win from the game at Highfield Road, and that only ended up being a 0-0 draw. So unfortunately, we went out 2-1 on aggregate, and Forest went on to win the League Cup that year, beating Oldham in the final.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. As always, moving on, I think now it's turning into favour of City. So City win a 9-goal thriller. Go on, Rich.
Yeah, a little bit of payback for Coventry City the following season, again in the League Cup, a fourth round tie. In this game, I don't remember it myself, but I've watched it back, highlights of it. It was actually a thriller. Within 35 minutes, City were 4-0 up. Kevin Gallagher had scored a hat-trick for the City. Mm-hmm. So we looked to be cruising into the quarterfinals, but then Nigel Clough then scored a hat-trick for Forest in the last 10 minutes of the first half. So going in at half-time, it was 4-3.
Yeah.
And 2 hat-tricks in one half of football. But then, in the second half, not long after half-time, Forest actually equalised, got it back to 4-4. And then City, after throwing away a 4-0 lead, I think it was Steve Livingston ended up getting the winner.
Yeah.
To give City the 5-4 win, and you don't get many 5-4s.
Well, if you're talking about 5-4, the last 5-4 I remember was when we beat Sunderland 5-4. But that was in...
Yeah, I've only ever been to one 5-4, and that was Bristol City. The first game
at Northampton? When we played in, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
9-goal
thriller, 7 goals in the first half, though. This night against Forest, though. Would have been a memorable one for those old enough to remember it.
No, that is very true. Moving on, your boy Darren Huckabee scoring his second hat-trick in 2 games.
Yep. Great player. Was he from Nottingham? I think he was born in Nottingham.
Let me have a look.
Correctly.
Interesting point.
But he seemed to score against Forest a lot. But a week earlier, he'd scored a hat-trick for us in a 7-0 FA Cup win against Macclesfield.
Yeah.
And then the following game, we're playing a struggling Nottingham Forest side.
Yeah, he was born in Nottingham. Yeah, he was born in Nottingham. Yeah.
I think a few weeks earlier, well, a few weeks later, not long after this game, I think Forest sacked the manager, and they actually brought Ron Atkinson in. But this game took place a few weeks before then.
Sure,
we beat them 4-0. Darren Huckabee hat-trick. Tao got the other. I think Huckabee was on a very good run of form then. I think he scored 7 goals in 3 games, including the 2 hat-tricks. Forest did end up getting relegated this year. So, but this was a memorable game in City season. 4-0 at Highfield Road.
Nice. And then last but not least, without further ado, the last night match at Highfield Road.
Yeah, so we've gone a bit full circle with Nottingham Forest here, because we started off talking about them when they were at probably the greatest era of their history, and now we're talking about them at the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
This was down in the Championship. It was Coventry versus Nottingham Forest, both teams struggling. So this was a crucial 6-pointer towards the end of the season, and Highfield Road was packed out for it under the floodlights. And I think we'd been struggling, but we'd picked up a little bit since Mickey Adams had been brought in as manager. We seemed to have a lot more fight about us. He'd made some shrewd signings, not exceptional signings, but he brought in the likes of Trevor Benjamin and Sean Gota, who were effective, if not spectacular, but effective. And this night under the lights at Highfield Road, it was a McSheffrey penalty and a Dele Adebola goal gave City a vital 2-0 win. in our bid to avoid relegation.
Absolutely, indeed. Great game. I remember that one as well because I think I watched the highlights of it. Great game.
Yeah.
So an interesting set of facts from
obviously we had the last. Obviously, a few weeks later, we had Derby County at Highfield Road for the last game there, but this was the last night match.
Okay. Yes, the famous 6-1 against Derby County to end our reign there. No, very interesting. No, Rich, thank you very much.
I remember going. I've been to Forest's ground. I've seen us win there a couple of times myself at the City ground. I remember going there, seeing us beat them 4-1. It was a very good away day that was.
Okay, so let's bring it full circle. I'll bring another topic up. Thoughts ahead of the game next week. I mean, what are you thinking, Rich? First game back at the new Coventry Building Society Arena. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? What do you reckon is going to happen? I mean, I watched the friendly today against Wolves, so thank you very much for sharing the link. I thought City did well. You have to remember they're a Premier League side.
Yeah, pre-season friendlies don't really tell you too much, to be honest. But
I wasn't worried about the result, but I'm glad they got a good run out against a decent Premier League side. Because if you can compete with, well, it's not that like they played us off the park. It is what it is. I mean, I genuinely enjoyed that performance. I think the lineup that Robin's put out today, I think he might start with that next week.
So it's safe to say we're signing Martin Craney this week.
What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the game myself today. Did Craney start or was he on the bench? I just saw we had a try list.
I couldn't actually tell whether he. Let me just check the website again. I'll bring that up. Let me
on the
see.
website, it just says try list, but I think from what I read on Twitter, it was Craney. I got confused when I saw the lineup because I had Callum O'Hare on there twice.
I saw you mentioned
that on the bench. He's good, but he's not. He's good, but he can't be in two places at once.
No, that's true. I mean, if we could have another Callum O'Hare, then that would be brilliant. But I think we'll just have to make do with the one. But I mean, general thoughts. I mean, how do you reckon he's going to line up next week? I mean, I'm relatively confident in the season. Yes, everyone's been moaning about preseason, but as we mentioned on the Lad podcast, preseason results are relevant. It's about the form and fitness, trying tactics out, and just generally see how it goes.
I can see it being a similar starting 11 to what he had out today. Simon Moore in goal.
Yeah.
I expect Hyam and McFadzean to play. Rose wasn't in the lineup today, was he? Is he?
No, he wasn't.
But I think he'll start with Wycorn up top. Possibly with Gokares.
So where do you reckon that leaves Godden and Tyler Walker? Do you reckon he's gonna just keep those two on the bench and swap them around?
He'll just base it on form.
Decent set of strikers we've got. At least we've got a bit more competition.
It'll all come down to form and fitness.
Well, at least Wagon got a goal today, so that should give him some confidence next week. Dabo played well. I was impressed with how he got on, and it was good to see City back at the Coventry Building Society Arena. The fans in.
Part of me, I thought, should I have gone up today with it being the first game back in Coventry for so long? But I thought it is only a friendly, and I don't tend to do friendlies unless they're at an away, unless there's a bit of a novelty attached to them. Unless if we had one at an away ground I've not been to before, I'd go. But I think for me the big one's next Saturday. That's when it.
No, like I said, when you should, I wouldn't really necessarily travel down for a friendly, unless that was like a Real Madrid or Barcelona turning.
Exactly.
The highly unlikely in current times, so we'll make do with what we can. But I think this is the first Premier League opposition we've played in a friendly in a while, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the first friendly we've had in Coventry for a while. Because even when we were playing at the Rico before, I think because we had such a bad deal there, I think we used to just play any home friendlies we had at Nuneaton. Because I don't think it was.
What did you make of the pitch today? I mean, I don't know if you managed to get the highlights or get any of the game.
Yeah, I didn't really. I haven't really seen any of the game today. I haven't seen the goals or anything, so I'm going to watch the highlights in a bit.
No, that's fair
I had
enough.
that link that I shared. That was sort of I'd had it. I just kept checking the score, but I was doing
Okay.
other things at the time.
No,
I had
that's
that
fair.
link. I had a link I shared, and then when I saw we scored, I was trying to rewind it to get the goal, but I was unable to
Yeah.
do so.
No,
I'll see
that's
the highlights later.
that was a good penalty. It's a good penalty. I enjoyed it. And their goals, I'll be honest with you, they're a bit soft, but then again, it's learn from experience.
Yeah,
And he'll have the team sorted out for next week. Sometimes you need that bit of a tough baptism of fire to wake the team up. Glad to see Hamish still at the club. I know people have been slating him and saying he needs to leave. I don't really agree. I think he'll do good for us this season. And it'd be interesting to see if Robbins does bring anyone else in, or is that it for the season? I mean, well, for the August transfer window. What do you reckon?
Well, I think he's pretty much. I'm pretty certain we're going to sign Craney this week, but I don't know if he'll add anyone else before Saturday.
Okay, no, that's.
We usually make a signing or two before September, don't we? Before the window closes.
When does your window shut? In September?
It usually is, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, end of August, September time. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, yeah, you're right. We'll be interested to see if we do get any reinforcements. Could do with beefing up that midfield a bit more, and maybe one more defensive. But as you said, if Martin Craney comes in, then that might take care of it. I think experience-wise, it's good to have that season last year to experience what the championship was all about. I mean, if I was to put you on the spot and ask you where do you think City are going to finish this season, what do you reckon?
If I'm being optimistic, I'd say 11th.
Okay.
If I'm being pessimistic, maybe 18th.
I'm gonna go out and neck, and I'm gonna say we're gonna finish 12th. I reckon we'll finish 12th this season.
All things considering, that would be a good season. Progress.
Absolutely. Well, I think defensively we'll be sound. We just got to be a bit more, not go too gung ho, as they say. I mean, whilst they're entertaining, it's not good for the blood pressure to be watching City concede goals when they don't need to. But I'm not looking forward to the season. Should be a great game next week. And well, as Rich says, my season ticket might arrive an hour before I decide to drive down. Fingers crossed it doesn't, because I could do with it on the drive down. But no. You know what?
I was reading some of the comments on social media today about some of the prices inside the ground. I read one post saying someone paid £14 for a burger or something.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
£6 for a pint of beer.
£12 for parking. £6 for pint of beer. £14
you
for.
don't park at the ground. I genuinely don't spend any money in the ground anyway, but
that leads to the question: why don't people just eat before? And okay, if you want to drink here or there, then that's fine. But why would you go for a meal inside the ground? You can literally go and do that somewhere else.
I mean, I never used to spend money at the ground because I didn't want to give any money to Wasps. I think, as far as I'm aware, I think the football club have got a bit of a better deal on the catering now. But
yeah, they have. They need the money.
Yeah, still at them prices, I won't be spending much, and I don't think I'll be spending anything inside the ground. And it's all cashless now as well, apparently. So
yes.
No, they tried that a few years ago. It didn't last, but it's probably more. There's more of a market for it now, I think.
Well, with the current COVID pandemic and stuff, I know we're coming towards the end of lockdown, but I reckon more people are reluctant to handle cash than they were before, because they're like, oh, I don't want to have to hand some money back because of whatever it is. But no, it'd be interesting. I think we'll manage to sell out a lot more games than before. I'm hoping that a lot more fans turn up rather than this NOPM stuff. I think that needs to just go in the bin now. The lads need the backing.
Exactly.
And it'd be interesting.
Any word on the attendance today?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, if I do see anything, I will update the podcast. But I haven't seen the attendance as such. I know there was quite a few people in there, but I'm not sure exactly. If I had to guess, I would reckon there was about 10, 12,000. But that's just my guess at best, because the camera angle wasn't the best. But Rich, thank you very much for tuning into today's episode. As always, it's a pleasure. And you know what? I'm going to put you on the spot. Score prediction for next week. Go, give it to me.
I think when I predicted the other week, didn't I? I said 2. Did I say 2-0? So I'll stick with 2-0. I'll say Sheaf, and I said Waghorn the other day, but I'll be a bit more obscure than that. I'll say Sheaf, and I'll give a defender one, and Hyam with the goals.
Nice. I like to see that positivity. That's what we were here for. And as always, guys, thank you very much for tuning in and watching myself and Rich today. As always, I'm going to wrap this up with please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Leave us your thoughts on what you'd like to see us cover, or if you disagree with anything we've said or want us to cover differently, happy to do that. As always, I mentioned we're on the race to 200. And a big thank you to everyone that subscribed. As mentioned at the start of the show, please, for those that have subscribed but their profiles are hidden, unhide your profile so we can add your name to the draw, which will be conducted at some point next week. And you know the drill. You see our social media feeds below. You can see Rich is there at Blaze Home and myself at Qureshi Shaz 85. So please hit us up on there and let us know your thoughts on the episode if there's anything you want us to cover. But guys, take it easy, and until next time, see you soon.
Yeah, Play Blues.